Welcome to Reiki for Our Times. We got some young people that wrote in asking questions, and so today we decided we're going to discuss and try to answer that question for them. The question that this person had was, how does one keep the ego from negatively affecting their life? What do you think?
What a question, huh?
Right.
I wish we knew the answer.
That's right. That's a big question.
Yeah, that ego business. Well, it's a big question,
Yeah, it is.
and we'll try to condense it enough. Because behind the whole question, there's an energy of concern and, like wanting to fix something and wanting to make something better in
like
your
the
life.
suffering's going
Yes,
on inside.
enough suffering. And for you and I that have been in this work for years and years, know that what it really takes is the willingness to open up to a bigger picture of life. When the ego or the mind or whatever you want to use as an excuse that you can't handle it, that actually means you're running around with quite a bit of tunnel vision like this all the time. And then what's going on over here? Somebody else might see what's going on over here, but you don't. The questioner doesn't see. So where can we start? Can you remember where we started many years ago to get a bigger picture? If I said that, how many times in 40 years to get a bigger picture, I'd be rich. But that's what I've always understood and knew, that you need to find a way to get from tunnel vision to this,
Broader picture.
and this, and then this, right? Until all of a sudden this goes all the way around, only I can't do that. So you know too what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think the more you get a bigger picture, things outside of you don't affect you as much. But you still need a bigger picture of who you really are.
And the mind and the ego is going to fight that to the nth degree.
Definitely.
So here we have a war going on inside. There might be this energy, this vibration, something happening that has a different feeling, and you want to follow that and see what that's all about. That would be great. Anybody who recognizes that in them, give us a call, because that's really the best starting place, is when you feel that sense in you
Like
that's ready to bust out. Yeah. It's like a flower that's ready to bloom, and then, to get it big.
Also, with the bigger picture, you have to not what you see, what you hear, to not make it positive or negative, better than, worse than. Judge it, because that also plays into the ego.
Right, and then it starts playing into we're victims of what we're seeing.
Yeah, once we're in tunnel vision, we're a victim. All right, now Larry's talking about the bigger picture. What?
Well, and everything really, the energy of it, the how it affects you on the inside, how it affects your view on life.
How you perceive
life, because as long as you see something, and the minute it goes negative or positive, in any way, shape, or form, your ego's in charge, or you get hooked into it. I've got to take action. I've got to do something about this. ego's in charge.
And then we're the victim.
Well, like you said, the ego always wants to fix things. Fix
And to
ourselves,
be-
fix
And be in
outside.
charge.
Charge.
I mean,
Right.
what chance have you got? When the ego wants those two things, that's that's its job.
Right.
It's its job to get that. And we're still not saying, how you can change it and not necessarily fix it. You think I can do my story?
Sure, because we can always add the one about you and the TV too. So go ahead.
I don't know.
Well,
what
I've
that
got
is.
one about a TV.
Right, I don't
maybe
remember that
I
one.
don't know about that one, but I know about this one.
Yes.
All right. Years ago, we were all at the zoo, and we were in the monkey house. What's the biggest monkey?
The ape,
Gorilla.
The ape?
the one gorilla.
Which one?
Gorilla.
Gorilla, huh? And I was standing by the rail, and then the glass wasn't that far away, and then the gorilla was sitting on its haunches looking right at me. And so I thought, well, this is kind of nice, and all these people along the rail were all looking at the gorilla. And all of a sudden, can you believe what happened? The gorilla is only like 2 feet from me, and he rose up, and everybody left but me. And I was in my time of learning how to be neutral, how to be willing to take what's happening in this moment, not judge it, not be a victim by it or any other of those.
They're grossed out by it.
Yeah. And so anyway, I just waited, and I stayed right there, and I thought, I'm practicing to bring my awareness that I don't need to respond. And what are all those words? Thinking,
React, judge.
react, and judge, and
Get
criti-
sick.
whatever, and get sick myself.
Right.
So I just stayed neutral because I was in my neutral phase of teaching that to myself. And all the people left, and I was the only one there. So I just stayed there because I wasn't going to respond. And then, what do you think he did? Tell me what he did.
Went and ate it back up again.
Oh my God, yes he did. And I stayed right there and watched it without any response. Just as if this is what is normal.
Well, and it is normal for a gorilla to do that, so.
Well, I sure didn't know that at that. Now we all know that, but I didn't know that at the time. And then he still just looked at me, and everything was back just the way it was when I stood here in the first place. And people started coming back, and I thought they missed the whole thing. And, so then on the way out, we asked the caretaker, I told him what happened. He said, well, that's what they do. And I thought, I passed the test of being affected by what's going on outside of me. And that put all my energies into really understanding what neutral means. But it's a while to get there.
Right.
There's a lot of paying attention that we have to do because we have no idea how conditioned we are to respond.
And that's something that takes a while. It's not like it happens overnight that you
It
can have that
does not
conditioning
happen
melt right away.
overnight. I spent months on neutral. Or that I can sit and watch the TV and watch a horrible story or whatever is going on in the world right now and not be ruffled at all. And it's not that you can't or that you get so, what's the word you use when, for neutral,
Well,
it's always.
people think
they
if you're neutral that you're lifeless or bored, it's boring, or there's no excitement or something. At
And
least
it's
that's what
just
I've
the
heard.
opposite of
Right.
that. Because
You're
just
freer.
being able to be in neutral is very exciting, but on a different level
Right.
and a different picture altogether. So this kind of work takes time, but it's well worth it. To have new pathways, new ideas on what to implant into your mind when you can tell you're starting to go south. You're starting to feel heavy and heavier, that there is something you can do or say that's a higher vibration. For example, if this is getting heavier and heavier, you just stop and say, I'm an infinite being, and what I'm seeing right now, it really doesn't matter in the big picture. It matters in this picture. None of it matters in this picture.
Now,
So,
would you equate having a bigger picture is having more of your spirituality up front or your higher self up front?
I would say yes, more of your real self.
Let's talk about that spiritual backbone,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yes.
gets stronger.
That's what
Right.
gets stronger.
Yeah. And I think I've always heard you say there's nothing but change. So no matter what you're seeing or hearing, it's always going to change.
And whether it changes the next minute or the next thousands of minutes,
Or a year.
yeah, and then some.
Right.
I mean, it's always going to change. So,
And well, we've just come to know if you really own that idea, there's nothing but change, and it's going to constantly grow, evolve, unfold, whatever words you use, then you don't need to get involved because no matter what you see today, tomorrow it's going to be different.
yeah, it might be different the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, like our weather here in Wisconsin.
Well, and do you mean not get involved, do absolutely nothing? Or would you, if your spirit or the inner pushing kind of had you go out to do something, you would do it?
Yes, you could
You would
still
do
go
it.
out and participate, do something to help a situation, do something to be involved in a situation, not necessarily to help, but just to be there and take your energy there without it putting its hooks into you.
Right, so then if you take your energy out from neutral, as we were talking about, then there's that freedom,
Yes.
and that's emanated out to
Mm-hmm.
wherever you're at.
Because I think the energy of non-judgment, of neutral, then heals and helps evolve a situation rather than locking it into the struggle or the war.
Right.
You know, and our experience with all this and moving into that neutral, you can almost sense for sure that the conditioning that you've created starts melting. I like to just
Yes.
get that sense that it melts bit by bit. Now,
Because you can't really, quote, get rid
Rid
of
of it, no.
conditioning, because then when you focus on that,
Right.
that just keeps getting stronger.
so we paid some attention now to that particular question.
I think so.
What was it again?
How does one keep the ego from negativity affecting their life? And I'd say that answered.
That definitely,
Pretty much.
it can be adjusted so that it doesn't affect your life, but it will affect it less and less and less and less suffering.
Right.
And that would mean class. And I would like to really, if you have any questions, we have the shift and lift class would be just perfect for that question. And we'll go ahead, get the information, what they can do if they would like some help with what we're talking about.
And we'd like to thank you also for writing into us with questions. And if anyone has any more questions on anything on life, feel free to email us at iselfawareness369@gmail.com. And our phone number is 414-323-4522. Thank you.